Mm-hmm. So you prefer movies to books? You'd rather see the movie?
Because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. Sorry yet. To listen.
Huh?
Practice to listen.
Well, yeah, the movie is good practice for listening.
It's difficult to.
We will read again after
At home. We can read it at home. Practice to listen.
Yeah. One of the I think maybe you found this helpful in one way, in that when they were speaking Hindu to one another, we saw the English subtitles. So you knew what they were saying, but then you saw the subtitles, and that helped with your vocabulary a little bit. But the accents, the Indian actors are speaking English with an Indian accent, and I sometimes find it difficult, because the accent is very different. Yeah, and that's true of anyone. If an English speaker speaks Thai very well, but it's still difficult for you to understand because the pronunciations are different, the accent's different. Well, it's different. That's true of any language. Well, I think it's beneficial for you to continue reading the book. I think we're learning more vocabulary, and we're practicing our pronunciation. So we'll continue reading the book. Do you want to see the rest of the movie tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Scary movie.
Well, there were suspenseful. Do you know what I mean by suspenseful? Suspenseful. Suspenseful. That's an adjective. Suspense is the noun. Now, suspenseful means that you don't know what's going to happen, and you are excited to see what happens next. So, for example, you remember the scene? You remember the scene where they're running for the train, and first Jamal on the movie Ram in the book gets onto the train, and then he helps Salome onto the train, and Salome reaches out for Latika, and he almost reaches, and we don't know if he's going to reach, and he finally reaches, and they hold on, and then you don't know whether Latika is going to get on the train or not. It's suspenseful. You don't know how it's going to end. You don't know whether she's going to get on or not get on. So that scene where she's trying to get on the train, we would call it a suspenseful scene, because it was sort of there was a lot of excitement to it, and we didn't know what the outcome was going to be. The noun is suspense. So if we talk about a story, the action that is exciting, and we don't know how the action is going to end, that's suspense. No. So here, one of the suspenseful parts of this movie is, not the book, just the movie, is Latika didn't get on the train. What happens to Latika? What happens to her? Do you think we'll see her again in the movie? Do you think the story will have her reintroduced to the rest of the story? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's a Hollywood movie, so there probably will be some romantic interest at the end. So we don't know how that's going to turn out. So not knowing how it's going to turn out, we call that suspense. Suspense is not knowing what the outcome is going to be. It's exciting. So suspense and suspenseful. Well, the movie is 2 hours, 120 minutes, and we watched 50 minutes of it. So tomorrow we'll watch the remaining 70 minutes, okay? We'll watch the remaining 70 minutes. And we'll probably get started right away, and then we'll probably want to take, maybe after about 45 minutes or so, we'll maybe want to take a break, you know, and then we'll watch the rest of the movie. And then we'll continue reading the books. Now, I always like to introduce you to one more language skill every day. Every day we have to learn something new, or we have to reinforce something we've already learned. So I want to show you this kind of continues what we were doing Monday. Remember Monday we saw how either and neither can be used to substitute for a words or phrases. And we saw how so and to can be used to substitute. Well, we're going to kind of continue that, but what is that? What is that? Giraffe. Giraffe. Look. Giraffe. Giraffe. Okay. Now, this is a grammar term that it's not so important to remember what the grammar term is, you know, but we call words that we use with verbs. If we're changing the tense of a verb, we call those auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs. I want to show you what an auxiliary verb is. Auxiliary verbs we sometimes call helping verbs because they're part of a verb that helps the verb to change tense. Now, like here's the present tense of a verb, jump. So present tense, jump. But in order to make that a present continuous tense, to show that we're still jumping, we have to put in am. So we call am an auxiliary verb or a helping verb. By itself, it doesn't say anything. But if you put it with the main verb, it becomes a helping verb. The introduction, putting this word here, helps us to change the tense. So if we wanted to say past tense, we'd just say I jumped. But past continuance Past continuous, we say, I was jumping. It means that in the past you jumped and you still are jumping. So we use auxiliary verbs or helping verbs to change the tense of a verb. I'll give you some more examples here. The verb be is a helping verb. And the verb be can take different forms depending upon the verb that we're using. You know, it can be am, are, is, was, were, been. Those are all helping verbs. Those are all helping verbs. Can is a helping verb. I can swim. I swim is just present tense. But if I say I can swim, then that, by putting the word can in with that verb, it means that I am able to, I know how to swim. So can is a helping verb. Do, and other forms of the verb do, does, or did, that's a helping verb. Yesterday I did swim. I could say past tense, swam, I swam. I could also say I did swim. I am swimming. I was swimming. This afternoon I will swim. So those are all helping verbs. Those are all helping verbs. And you've already used those in other, speech. We know